Now, moving forward from that, we know there's a roof maintenance and a pest maintenance, which is going to cost $105,000. Our commission is, let's say it's 8%, and that's a number that we can change. So let's say that's $560,000, and the tenant eviction that cost another $148K. So you take that, you minus from the 7 million, you're still left with 6.19 million, and which is still $1.2 million more than what the appraisal has done for us. So that's strategy 2. So strategy 3, and I spoke about this before a little bit based on the add backs. Now, if we look at the P&L statement on the last page, these are all the add backs which were discovered, which are medical expenses, auto, consulting fees, mortgage interest, depreciation, travel, penalties. So all those add backs come out to $192,000. And we took that number and we added back into the net income of 38,000, which that math is done for us already in the P&L statement. So the new NOI becomes $230,000. So now we did a comparable analysis. So we took the 230,000 and based on the comp cap rates, we divided by that with 3.6, which gives us a value of $6.4 million. These are the 3 ways we have, come to calculate the total value, what is possible, what is not possible. And we know, the appraisal talks about a little bit on the maintenance is high and whatnot, but that's really not our focus right now because these P&L statements and everything, these are so inflated. If we really were to take a deep down, we will actually discover a lot more add backs than there. But this is taking a very straightforward approach on the 3. And the best outcome can be that 678K is a real number. And we can, really put it on the market for 9.4 million. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Very impressed. Like, you answered most of my questions. So where do I sign?
Norma's being very nice because she's in her car. What are you guys charging for commission?
8%.
8%.
8%. I did a calculation right here. Under the
I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Put that cost right there. It's negotiable. What we can do is, if you were to take this strategy to let go all the tenants, we will take care of all the eviction notices. We will evict them. We will bring in new clients, and and that's why it might seem a little bit higher, but there's a lot of work included in that.
Okay, can you just recap, Vic, the 3 approaches you're suggesting?
Right. So the first approach is we take the P&L income of 678K, and we prove that income is a real income because the rent is 358K, but how did that become 678? It's kind of a mystery. So we have to dig a little bit more deeper with the CPA and whatnot, prove that number is real.
Okay, great. And number 2?
Number 2 is you let go of all tenants, bring in new tenants, raise then the new projected
got it.
Is 500,000.
Okay, and then 3. Got it. Okay, and then the 3rd was just the NOI, right? Can you go to that one?
Based on the cash, the add backs.
All right, now I'll pause right there for a minute. So I'm just wanted to see how you got to your NOI of 230. So kind of briefly tell us what you did to get to that 230 NOI.
Right. So let me start from here. You see this? Do you guys see my mouse moving?
Yes.
Okay. You see this net income?
Yeah.
So this 38,000 is already calculated on the last page. That math is already done for us. So that's one number. And then you look at the P&L statement and you say that, this is owner's personal expense, this auto, this consulting fees, this depreciation, this travel expenses, the penalties and interest are not real business expenses. There are something happened, there was a penalty, it's a one-off thing. And you take that total, and when you add it, becomes 192,000. And you add that into the net income that's already there, so that total NOI becomes 230,000.
Okay. And then you applied what cap rate?
So we did it on a 3.6 cap rate based on those comp values. You see 1, 2, and 3. You take 230 divided by 3.6%, it becomes 6.4 million.
Okay, so, oh, I see what you're doing here. And then you're saying if you want to use one of the other comps, the cap rate would be higher and the value would be higher.
Right.
Okay.
And the thing is, those add backs are just looking at P&L statement. I'm sure, the payroll is very high, and there are a lot of fluff in the P&L statement, which is probably, it needs a more deeper dive. And that 230 might become 250, might become 280, might become 300. And as we discovered that, the value increases.
Yeah. Okay, great job. Anything else you'd want to add?
Quick question, what about your marketing strategy? Like, what are you gonna do for me? Marketplace.
Right, so the marketing strategy is basically a simple strategy that we do for all clients. We use the standard CoStar, Crexi portals, and with EXP Commercial, once we take a listing, we put it in build out, it pushes out to 26 other channels throughout the planet. So those are our basic marketing strategies that we do. We have internal database of 100,000 investors which have these which are investors, and then they look for these deals. And this right here is the deal, because if no one has looked very deep into this analysis, this is hidden value in here, right? But it needs to be proven. Shella, do you want to add anything as far as marketing is concerned?
Yes, because we have lots of Oriental staff in our team, so we speak 3 different languages, and we can target a lot of international buyers selling the packages. And the advantages being in this good location. I know in our connection we have lots of people want to invest internationally, so you can reach a lot of different audiences to market your property properly. And we can have some sales center in different location in Asia to help you showcase the location, and eventually it might bring more clients to bid for this property. Maybe it's over this price that you're expecting. So this advantage of having different nationality staff and also sales agents here. So we definitely will looking forward to help you and to help you to sell even more than that price.
Ed, Shalice, do you want to add anything?
Yes. So let me ask you, with that 8% commission that you're gonna charge me, are you gonna get a professional photographer and maybe like get the professional photographer?
We only do commercial deals, and it's a standard procedure in all of our deals. We do use a professional photographer, so that's a given.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well,
Nice job. All right. Any questions from the audience for the team?
Team super achievers.
Super achievers.
Achievers.
Good job.
Any
Good job.
questions?
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Nice job.